Further you can write, Earth rotates 360 degree. The Earth rotates 360 degree to complete one side real day. To complete one side real day. Now there are synodic days. It is one complete rotation. It is one complete rotation of Earth with respect to Sun. With respect to Sun. And Earth approximately rotates 361 degree to complete such rotation. Right. So what is sidereal day? What is synodic day? You have an idea. Okay friends, what is the time taken for synodic day? Exactly 24 hours. What is the time taken for sidereal day? Approximately 23 hours and 56 minutes. Even that 4 seconds you can forget. 4 seconds is not a big deal, right? Approximately it is 23 hours and 56 minutes. The time difference between them is very important. What is the time difference between them? What is the time difference between them? 4 minutes. What is the angle of rotation, or its way? And talk about the angular difference, 1 degree. So this itself gives you a clue. What is the clue? It says, right, 1 degree. It gives you a clue, my friend. As I said, 1 degree, there will be a difference of 4 minutes. Indirectly, it gives you a clue. What is the clue? I tell you. Earth rotates 1 degree for every 4 minutes. That's that. If Earth rotates 1 degree for 4 minutes, can I say the Sun will actually move from one longitude to another longitude in what? 4 minutes. You know what is a longitude, right? Plenty of longitudes out there. Assume that there are 360 longitudes. So how much time the Sun will take to move from one longitude to another longitude, if you ask me? 4 minutes. Very important. Somewhere you can write it, right? And you can mark it important. You can write it, Earth rotates separately. Somewhere separately you can write it, Earth rotates, right, 1 degree for every 4 minutes. Right. Now, what is sidereal? What is synodic day? We have an idea, right? Now, I'll give you one parlance, what is normally used in examination. I'll also explain. Okay. Normally I said, what is this synodic day? Somewhere I said, what is the synodic day? Moon. Am I right? Sidereal day is one complete rotation with respect to Earth itself on its own axis. Now what happens? Slightly I'm changing. Can I say one complete rotation on its own axis is sidereal, correct? Or one complete rotation of Earth is sidereal. One complete rotation with respect to Sun is sidereal. Okay. So we can write it. The side of sidereal, synodic day you can write it. The right side first you write it. Synodic day side you write it. Not sidereal day side, synodic day side. It is one complete rotation. It is one complete rotation with respect to Sun, right? Synodic day side is one complete rotation with respect to Sun. Okay. What is sidereal day then? It is one complete rotation on its own axis. Okay. One complete rotation on its own axis. One more word I will give you. When I talk about synodic day, what you have written, it is one complete rotation with respect to sun. Within bracket, you write it as what? Near star. Which is the nearest star to Earth? Sun. Okay. So one complete rotation with the near star, you call them as what? Synodic. If that is the case, right, what exactly sidereal day can be written as? Distance. So sidereal day you can write it, you are already done, right? One complete rotation on its own axis. Within bracket you write it with respect to a distant star. With respect to a distant star. Right. So now we know that there are two types of days. And after this topic, never we will talk about this sidereal day. Right, futuristic topic, only day what we will be taking for reference is what? Synodic day or solar day. Okay. Right, I told you, right? Somewhere if you can find it, right? One complete rotation with respect to distant star. Distant star, you call them as what? Sidereal. Sun, you call them as what? Near star. This is very, very important. Okay. Because this is the same word that was asked in examination also. Okay. So now you have every idea about what? Rotation. Okay. From rotation, I am just moving on to the next topic. This next topic we call them as what? Revolution, my friend. You can write it as what? Revolution. What is revolution? You know what is revolution? Movement of Earth around the sun, you call them as what? You can write it. You can write it. The movement of sun, sorry, excuse me. The movement of Earth around the sun is called as revolution. And one complete revolution is called as 1 year. One complete revolution is called as 1 year. Correct? Right. And you also know the fact, revolution is the one which is causing what? Seasons. Now comes another question. Right. I said one complete rotation, you call them as what? 1 year. Correct? Now comes the question, how long is 1 year? How long is 1 year? How many days and hours this earth takes to complete one such revolution? How long is 1 year? 300. Is it only 365? Last year I never had 365. Last year I had 366 days. Why? Leap year. Why there is a concept of leap year? Why, my friend? Why exactly there comes the concept of leap year? See, somewhere, how many years once leap year comes? 4 years. Why? Because I understand, see, normally the school book says, right, 1 year is approximately 365 days and 6 hours. Okay? Normally it says 365 days and 6 hours. You cannot have a separate day for 6 hours. Alright? Either you can call it as 365 days and 6 hours, or you can say it is 365 and quarter days. Both are same. Alright? No, you cannot have a separate quarter day. Say for example, only 6 hours you will be having and you declare that okay, the year is over. You cannot say so. So what is very practical? Right? We will have a year only for this 365 days. If I am just having a year for this 365 days, I call them as what? Ordinary year. Right? I call them as what? Ordinary year. But what happened? Every year, this 6 hours gets accumulated. Year number 1, 1 6 hour. Second year, another 6 hour. Third year, another 6 hour. Fourth year, another 6 hours. If 4 6 hours gets pulled together, what will happen? 24 hours daily. That's the reason what happens. The 6 hours, you take it separately. Once in 4 years, right? This will give you 1 extra day. It will give you what? 24 hours, right? That's the reason every 4th year, you add this 1 day and you call them as what? Leap year. Alright? You call them as what? Leap year. This is very common. Even the school kids know about this. Okay, right? Now, approximate. But I'm just going to change this. Right? Right? This is the fact what it is given in 6th class NCERT or 7th class NCERT. But this is not actually real. Okay. I'll tell you why it is not real, and I'll also give you the fact. Right. I'll also give you the exact fact. How much time does Earth take to complete 1 revolution? You know the concept of leap year, right? You know the concept of leap year. Now, I will give you a year. You have to tell me.
ठीक चल रहा है सर का पढ़ाई समझ आ रहा है सर तो इंडिया के वन ऑफ द बेस्ट टीचर्स है कोचिंग आईएएस का और कुछ ऐसा कुछ सजेशन है कुछ बात है आप लोगों का तो कुछ भी अगर कुछ राय है आप लोगों का तो कुछ नहीं थैंक यू कैरी ऑन
Right. So you know the concept of leap year, right? The only thing is that let me give you a year, my friend. I'll write some year. You have to identify whether that given year is a leap year or not. Okay. You just identify it. See, I'll just take it from the known years. 2020 entire world knows that it is a leap year. Alright? I'm talking about last year. It's a leap year. Okay. What about 2016, my friend? Was it a leap year? Yes or no? It's a leap year. Very good. I don't have any problem. What about 2004, my friend? Is it a leap year? Yes? Very good. What about year 2000? Millennium. What is 2000? It's a leap year. Very good. Like it's a leap year. Okay. Right. So you can understand, you can identify a leap year, right? Now comes the question, what about 1908? Was it a leap year? This is here a leap year or not? Yes or no? Yes. How do you say so? Because it is divisible by 4. So what is the simple logic to find whether a year is a leap year or not? You divide it by 4. If it is divisible, you call them as what? Very good. 1908 is a leap year. What about 1904, my friend? Was it a leap year? Very good. 1904 is a leap year. What about 1900? 1980 is it a leap year? Yes or no? No. If you say no, why? Simple question. 1980 was it a leap year? Yes or no? No. But it is divisible by 4. But still it is not a leap year. Actually it is not a leap year. It is not a leap year. 1980 is not a leap year. It is divisible by 4. But it is not a leap year. Right? Similarly, when I talk about the 1880, my friend, it is divisible by 4. Again, it is not a leap year. Right? 1780, again it is divisible by 4, but it is not a leap year. But when it comes to 1680, it is a leap year. Now I have the biggest question. Why these 3 years are not leap year? Okay. 1700 also I have. Why it is not a leap year? My friend, see, to find whether a given year is a leap year or not, actually you have 2 conditions. Right? I do not know whether you know the second condition or not. If you ask me what exactly is condition number 1, you have to check whether the given year is divisible by 4 or not. Right? This is simple condition. But there is also one more condition. What is the condition? If the given year is a century, right? If the given year is a century, my friend, then it should be divisible by 400. Right? For example, 1700, 1800, 1900, they are centuries. They should be divisible by what? 400. Is it divisible by 400? 1800, is it divisible by 400? 1900? But what about 2000? Yes. What about 1600?
Yes.
Yes. Right. So two conditions are there. Right? Now if you ask me, right, why do I have the second condition? Because the second condition comes in because the time taken by Earth is actually not 365 days and 6 hours to complete one revolution. If you precisely ask me, okay, how long is 1 year, my friend? Talk about 1 year, right? It is 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes and 46 seconds. This is the time taken by Earth to complete one revolution. Very important. It's not 6 hours. It is not 6 hours, my friend. So it means every year what exactly I am considering? I am considering it is what? 365 days and 6 hours. It means somewhere, some deliberate error we are adding it. Okay. This condition we have included just to remove that error. Okay, right. I'm not getting into the details. If you ask me why I have this condition, it is all because of this fact, my friend. Somewhere you will note it. This is the exact time taken by Earth to complete what? One revolution. Right. And one question before concluding. In span of 400 years, my friend, in span of 400 years, normally speaking, if I consider that every 4th year is going to be a leap year, in 400 years, how many leap years will you be having? Assume that the condition 2 is not there. Assume only one condition is there. Every 4th year there is going to be a leap year. If that is the case, in 400 years, how many leap years will you be having? 100 leap years. But I know the fact, 700 or 1700 is not a leap year. 1800 is not leap year, 1900 is not leap year, but 2000 is leap year. 2100 is not a leap year, 22 is not a leap year, 23 is not a leap year, where 2400 or 2400 will be a leap year. If I am just removing this, right, how many leap years I will be having? For every 400 years, my friend, the number of leap years is only 97 leap year, my friend. Within bracket you write it, not 100. Very important fact. For every 400 years, the number of permissible leap year is only 97, not. No. See, this, we call them as error correction, but that much detailing is not at all needed. Competitive examination, always keep one thing in mind, never go for in-depth analysis. The basic fact what is needed for the competitive examination, only that fact you take. That should be more than sufficient. Okay, never go for specialized study. Okay. So far, is there any doubts? No? Right. Now, okay. In examination, I'll just give you, now you know everything, right? Every fact about it, the precision, right? Fact with precision, everything. Now in examination, they are giving you a question. They are asking how long is 1 year, my friend? This is the question. So what exactly is the option they are giving? 365 days, 365 days and 6 hours, 366 days. And D is none of the above. Right? You tell me, among the 4 options, which is the best option? Preliminary examination or any competitive examination, do not search for a correct answer. Because what is correct, nobody knows. Always go for the best option. So in this situation, right, you tell me which is the best option. You know the fact. What is the best option? None of the above, because I know it is 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes and 46 seconds. That option is not given there, my friend. Okay. Now what I do, I change the option. Okay. I am just moving. See, earlier case, I said none of the above is the best option. Now I am changing the case, my friend. Right. The fourth option now it says 365 days and 5 hours. Now you tell me which is the best option. B is the best option. Alright. So that's the reason always I used to say, what determines the answer in your examination is actually not the question. What determines the answer is what? The given option. Okay. Without reading all 4 options, do not come to a conclusion. Right? That is fundamental rule of any competitive examination. So, always you can go by omission, I accept, but never conclude just by reading the question. Okay? Because the answer what you would have thought, right, would have not been the best option. Right? Again I repeat it, underline it, do not go for a correct answer, my friend, go for the best option. Alright? So with this, somewhere I have a broad idea about what revolution might be. Okay? So what is revolution? How much time it takes, everything in our life. Right? Right. Now moving further, my friend. When I talk about revolution, somewhere I said movement of earth around sun, you call them as what? Revolution. Now is the question, what about the path of orbit? Right? You call them as what? Orbital path, right? Is it circular? No. You call them as what? Elliptical. Somewhere you write it. Right? Right. Say for example, you can write it. Earth moves around the sun. Earth moves around the sun in an elliptical orbit. In an elliptical orbit. Earth moves around the sun in an elliptical orbit. And sun is not at the center of ellipse. And sun is not at the center of the elliptical orbit. You underline this word not, right? I said not, right? You can underline. So 2 things I am doing. Number 1, the orbital path is elliptical in nature. Number 2, sun is not here at the center. Alright? Sun is not here at the center. Right? Somewhere, say for example, I'll go for an over-exaggerated line. Right? Assume that, right, this is more like an elliptical orbit. It's more like an elliptical orbit. Right. As I said, it is over-exaggerated line. Okay. And sun is not at the center. Sun is placed at some corner of this ellipse. Okay, it is not at the center. Now, what exactly is the understanding? If that is the case, can I say, if this is the orbit of the earth, can I say every day the distance between sun and earth will be changed? Alright. So I do not have any constant distance between sun and earth. Every day it is going to change. Alright. Can I say at one point of time, earth will be placed as far as possible from itself from the sun? Right? Earth and sun will experience the maximum distance between them. Right? That day, right? Technically, you call them as what? Aphelion day. Or this position, we call them as what? Aphelion position. So, what is aphelion? The maximum distance what Earth has with respect to sun, we call them as what? Aphelion. Right? Similarly, some day of a year, Earth is placed very close to sun. You ask why you are not marking it here. I said it is just for our understanding. Right? At one point of time, my friend, Earth will be very close to sun. That position we call them as what? Perihelion position. We call them as what? Perihelion position. So what is aphelion and what is perihelion? We have. Correct? Right. And if you ask me, what is the distance, right, on aphelion day, what is the distance between sun and earth, if you ask me, somewhere 152 million kilometers. This M means million. is a million, you know, right? What do you mean by million? How many lakhs make a million? 10 lakhs, right? See, lakh and million is a different unit, right? Million is what? 10 lakhs, right? Indian, right? Scenario, million is 10 lakhs. Alright? It means, can I say approximately sun is placed what? 15 crore kilometer from what? Earth. Right. So what is the distance between sun and earth on aphelion day? 152 million kilometers. On the other hand, if you ask me perihelion, earth is very close. Correct? If you ask me, right, what is the distance between earth and sun during that particular day? It is 147 million kilometers. 147 million kilometers. It means between perihelion day and aphelion day, what is the difference? Difference is what? 5 million kilometers. 5 million is what? 50 lakh kilometers is the difference. Alright. So what is aphelion? What is perihelion? We have it. Correct? Right. So every day the distance between earth and sun is going to change. Right. Now comes the question, okay, everything is fine. Right. Whenever I have a variable data, somewhere I should arrive at average data. Right. If that is the case, if you ask me what is the average distance between earth and sun, this average distance is 149.6 million kilometers. 149.6 million kilometers. This fact, always I believe, go for approximation. How easily you can remember? Instead of 149.6, what you can write it? You can write it as what? Approximately it is 150 million kilometers. Right? The average distance between sun and earth is approximately 150 million kilometers. Right? And this distance, the average distance between sun and earth is very popularly called as one astronomical unit. It's called as what? One astronomical unit. In examination, if somebody is asking you what is one astronomical unit, what is one astronomical unit? The average distance between sun and earth, you call them as what? One astronomical unit. What is the value of this one astronomical unit? That also you know. See, my dear friends, why this astronomical unit is taken, what exactly is the use if you ask me? It is the unit of distance. Whenever I am just calculating distance in space, right, only two units are used. Sometimes I use astronomical unit as a unit. Sometimes I use light year as a unit. Light year. Normally people say, right. Say for example, a black hole was discovered somewhere around 200 light years from Earth. Something like that. Right? You call them as what? Goldilocks planets are discovered somewhere around 3 or 4 light years from Earth. Somewhere, they say, right? Now what do you mean by light year? You have studied in schools also, right? Light year. See, geography, normally I believe that the word itself will give you the concept and meaning. Like it says light year. It means what? The distance what light can travel in 1 year. Light is not instantaneous, right? Light also has a velocity. My dear friends, when I talk about sun, right? When the light from the sun, when I say light from the sun reaching the earth, is it instantaneous? Answer is no. Am I right? This light takes some time to reach earth. Approximately light from the sun takes 8 minutes in reaching what? Earth. Why? Because 150 million kilometers is a considerable distance. Am I right? What among the known knowledge of human being, right, if you ask me, right, which almost has the maximum velocity? Photons. That is light. Am I right? So the distance what light can travel in 1 year, we call them as what? Light year. Okay. Normally in space, longer distance are calculated in light year. Smaller distance are calculated in astronomical. If you are calculating a distance within our solar system, it is expressed in astronomical unit. Outside our solar system, it is expressed in light year. Okay, very important. Somewhere in your own words you can write it. So you know, considerable facts you know, right? What is one astronomical unit? What is light year? What is aphelion? What is perihelion? What is the distance between them on a set day? Everything you have an idea, right? What is the average distance? That also you know. Right, my friends, right? Now, almost where I have stopped for the earlier batches study, right? We are talking about revolution. What is aphelion and what is perihelion? Distance between Sun and Earth on perihelion day and on aphelion day by fact also. Right. Now somewhere, while talking about revolution, we have concluded one fact, right? What is that fact? Revolution causes what? Seasons. Right? When talking about seasons, what are the seasons? Summer, winter, autumn, and am I right? You may wonder, I have never seen, right? The summer, winter, autumn and spring is not almost, say for example, visible everywhere. Right? See for example, Port Blair climate and Chennai climate more or less is similar. Okay? Right? Seasons I understand, worldwide it is different. But Chennai climate, if you ask me, Chennai what are the seasons? Right? There are only 3 seasons. You call them as what? Hot, hotter and hottest. Right? You don't have any other season. Right. Now when I talk about this perihelion and aphelion position, okay, now comes the question. Right. Somewhere taking look on this perihelion and aphelion, can I say when I will experience summer and when I will experience winter? Can you approximately say? Right. When you will experience summer and when you will experience winter? When you experience summer and when you experience winter? Perihelion. Perihelion is what? Summer. Aphelion is what? I am not writing it, I will tell you. Perihelion appears as though it is summer. Aphelion appears as though it is winter. Because why? Summers are very hot, right? So if the earth is very close to sun, it appears as though it should be very hot. Okay, it is normal to think in that line. Okay, accepted. If earth is far away from the sun, so you may feel that okay, right? The insolation received will be less, the temperature will be less. But if you ask me, perihelion and aphelion happens on a specific day of the year. If you ask me which day perihelion occurs, my friend, what you are calling it as summer happens on January 3rd. Right? Perihelion occurs. It appears as though it will be one of the hottest day, right? But contrastingly, it is one of the coldest day in Northern Hemisphere. It happens on what? January 3rd. Aphelion. Right. I believe that okay, sun is very far. So you'll be thinking that okay, it will be very, very cold. Right. But if you ask me which day it appears or occurs, July 3rd or July 4th. Right. Distance is maximum, but this is one of the hottest. Right. Here the distance is minimum, but it is one of the coldest. If that is the case, what exactly is the conclusion here? What is the conclusion you can draw? Distance between Earth and Sun is no way influencing what? Seasons. It may influence temperature, I understand. Marginally it can increase and decrease the temperature, that I understand. But it do not influence what? Climate or season. Okay, I should say season. Alright, season is completely different concept. Right? Summers can be slightly hotter. Maybe I'll tell you why. Right? For southern hemisphere, summers can be slightly hotter. And one more thing, let me tell you. Entire Earth together can never experience summer. Means what? If India experiences summer, Australia will experience what? Winter. Why? Because Australia lies in the southern hemisphere. Right? So, northern hemisphere, if it is summer, southern hemisphere will experience what? Winter. Otherwise, it should be always it is opposite. Right? It Means season will never exist together in both the hemispheres. Always it is a contrasting season in both the hemispheres. Right. Now so far I have an idea. Only thing is that I should understand why I have season sign. And my dear friend, before getting into the season sign, the next topic what we will be discussing is season sign. First and foremost, right? Whenever I talk about summer, you tell me the defining character of a summer. When I talk about summer, my friend, what is the defining character of a summer? Okay, I am just giving you, right? Number one, I say it is longer days. Longer day means what? Sun will come early, but sun will go late. Am I right? The period of sun remaining in the sky will be more. Day will be longer and night will be shorter. That is what you call them as what? Longer days. Am I right? One more factor I am just giving you, or okay, no problem, right? Warmer days. I mean to say summer will be hot and winter will be cold. See, I know that both are characters of summer, right? Summer is longer and summer is longer. But if at all, if I am just asking you to select one, I know both are the character of summers. I am not denying it, right? But my dear friends, within two, between them, which brings, right, the more I would say, it means the accommodative character of it. Which more suits the character of summer? Is it longer day or longer day? Longer. Very good. It is longer day. So what is summer? I understand. Summers are warm. I understand. Right? But summer is always known for what? Longer days. Summer is known for what? Early sunrise. Right? Whenever sun rises before 6 a.m., we call them as what? Summer. But Port Blair, what happens even during winter, it rises before what? Right, 6 a.m. The reason is very simple, because Andaman is following what? Wrong time zone. Right? It is not supposed to follow this time zone. Actually, given the scenario, northeastern state and Andaman should follow what? The time zone of what? Myanmar. Right? At least the time zone of Bangladesh we should follow. Okay. But we are following the wrong time zone. That's the reason. Right. Every day the sun comes early. Right. Throughout the year, what you are having is what? Summer zone. Right. So not like that. Only thing is that, as I said, erroneous time zone we are using. Okay. Now, summer means what? Longer days. Very, very important. So with this idea, right, what I'll do, I'll just go for the season sign. Now comes the question. Somewhere I said revolution causes what? Season sign. Right? Revolution causes season sign. But can I say, when I talk about rotation and revolution, my dear friend, Earth is not rotating in such a fashion. Right? Can I say axis of Earth is actually tilted and now it rotates in given fashion? What happens? In this fashion, what happens at one point of time? Assume that Earth is tilted. By how many degree? By how many degree, my friend? Very popular, right? 23.5 degree. Right? What is Tropic of Cancer? 23.5 degree north. What is Tropic of Capricorn? 23.5 degree south. Right. Why exactly Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn is recorded at 23.5 degree? It is because the Earth is tilted by what? 23.5 degree. Because Earth is tilted by 23.5 degree, my dear friends, when assume that this is northern hemisphere and this is southern hemisphere. When northern hemisphere is facing the sun, you say that northern hemisphere means almost experience what? Summer, and southern hemisphere experience what? Winter. Slowly study. Both the hemisphere together will face the sun together. It can be autumn or spring. Another 3 months, my friend. Southern hemisphere will be facing away from the sun. Sorry, excuse me. Northern hemisphere will be facing away from the sun. Southern hemisphere will face the sun. You call them as what? Winters of northern hemisphere and summer of southern hemisphere. Slowly, steadily, another 3 months it comes. So, if you ask me what exactly is the reason for season cycle, my friend, I would say this: tilt of the earth. Right? Somewhere you can find the tilt of the earth. Okay? The next topic you can find it: season cycle. You can write it as what? Season cycle. Right. You can write it. The variation the variation in the length of day and night. The variation in the length of day and night is called as season. The variation in the length of day and night is called as season. Accordingly, summers are known for longer days. Summers are known for longer days and winters are known for shorter days. Winters are known for shorter days. So what is a season? We have a right. Correct. Now comes the question, okay, everything is fine. Now what is the reason for season? Is it only revolution? Right. See, for example, assume I was talking about revolution, my friend. If Earth would have not been tilted, can I say there is actually no season cycle? Every part of the year, the exposure of the hemisphere towards the sun will be same. Am I right? But because Earth is tilted at one point of time, I have the maximum exposure of sun towards another hemisphere. Another point of time, I have maximum exposure of sun towards what? Southern hemisphere. So what exactly is the primary reason for having a season cycle? It is the tilt of the Earth. Both are very important. If you ask me, what is the, I will call it as what reason for season? Right? If you ask me what exactly is the reason for season, number one, I would say it is tilt of Earth, my friend. Tilt of Earth. Right? By how many degrees? Within bracket you can write it as what? By how many degrees, my friend? 23.5 degrees. Tilt of Earth and what? Revolution. If Earth is not revolving, summer will not become what? Winter. Right? Only if it is revolving. Just because it is revolving, I am having what? Cycle. Right? Both the facts are very important. So in examination, both has to be taken. Right? Tilt of the Earth and the revolution. I am not, it is not or, it is and means what? Both together should be taken. I mean, very important. What is the reason for season? It is tilt of Earth and revolution. Fine. So everything is fine, right? The reason for season also I have just given. Right? Tilt of Earth and revolution. You have taken it? Right. Right, my friend, as I was saying, right? At one point of time, I have maximum tilt of northern hemisphere towards sun. Correct? At one point of time, I have maximum tilt of southern hemisphere towards sun. Wherever I have the maximum tilt of one hemisphere towards sun, I call this position as solstice position. I call them as what? Solstice. Right? Solstice position. So what is solstice? Maximum tilt of Earth towards sun. We call them as what? Solstice position. Right. Now what is very important here? I have two solstice positions. Okay? I have two solstice positions. One solstice happens on June 21st. Very easy to remember, right? June 21st. Right? Because if you ask me, June 21st, geographically it is very important. I'll tell you why. Right? Otherwise, when I talk about culturally also this June 21st is very important. Right? Any idea? International? No. Emotionally also this June 21st is very important. Any day? You may not remember it. Because hardly world will recognize this day, my friend. This is International Father's Day, my friend. So whatever it is, right? When I talk about the solstice, right? The maximum tilt of Earth, right, towards sun, you call them as what? Solstice. Solstice occurs twice a year, right? One on June 21st and 6 months from June 21st. It is December 22nd. See, these days, right, if you ask me, is it necessary to remember the exact day? Not needed. Because not every year this phenomena will happen on the same day. Sometimes it can happen on June 21st, right? Sometimes it can happen on what? June 22nd. Marginal difference will be there. 1 or 2 days difference is excellent, right? So never mind. These are the popular days, right? So June 21st you have one solstice and December 22nd you have another solstice, right? Now because I have two solstices, I have to give a name for it. Okay. Now comes the question. What exactly is the season that we have in Northern Hemisphere during June? During June, what is the season you experience? Summer. Accordingly, this solstice you call them as what? Summer solstice. In June 21st, you call them as summer solstice. What will be the name you will give for December 22nd? Very good. You call them as what? Winter solstice. You call them as what? Winter solstice. So I have just given a name for it. Now you may ask one question. Why are you calling June 21st as summer solstice? I understand that Northern Hemisphere is experiencing summer. But when Northern Hemisphere experiences summer, what will be the season in Southern Hemisphere? Winter. Then why am I calling it as summer solstice, my friend? Very simple. Geography. Any reference is always taken with respect to what? Northern Hemisphere. Why? Because near complete land, my friend. 66% of land and 80% of habitable land, right, lies in what? Northern Hemisphere. And 90% of global population is also confined to what? Northern Hemisphere. Why? Simple. India and China is there in Northern Hemisphere. As simple as this. Correct? No. Now, that's the reason why when I talk about population, land distribution, everything is with respect to Northern Hemisphere. Alright? That's the reason any reference in geography ordinarily comes with what? Northern Hemisphere. Unless and until it is specifically mentioned, always default it means what? Northern Hemisphere. That's the reason you call them as what? Summer solstice. Because it is summer in Northern Hemisphere. Why you call them as winter solstice? Because it is winter in what? Northern Hemisphere. Right. So, I have got two names here. What is so important about these days, if you ask me? I'll tell you. Right? Somewhere I said the maximum tilt of Earth towards sun is experienced on what? Solstice. Correct. Now, somewhere I am just marking this vertical sun's rays. What is this vertical sun's rays? It's sun position. Am I right? If you ask me where exactly sun will be placed exactly above one's head on this day, right? This line you call them as what? Tropic of Cancer. Correct? The sun's vertical rays will fall exactly over what? Tropic of Cancer. Am I right? Similarly, if you ask me where exactly the sun's vertical rays falls on December 22nd, it is Tropic of Capricorn. Am I right? You know what is Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, right? Tropic of Cancer passes through what? India also, right? There are 8 states through which Tropic of Cancer passes through. Okay, right. So somewhere I understand on this solstice, sun's vertical rays exactly falls over Tropic of Cancer. December 22nd, the sun's vertical rays falls over what? Tropic of Capricorn. Why Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn is so important? You have heard about this tropical countries, right? People normally say, right? India is a tropical country. Am I right? Most of the African nations are tropical nations, right? You would have heard about this International Solar Alliance, right? What is this ISA? Right? It is a consortium of what? All tropical countries. Am I right? India is a founding member. Am I right? India and France are the founding member, right? International Solar Alliance. Now comes the question, what do you mean by this tropical countries? A country which is located between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Tropic to tropic. That's what you call them as what? Tropical country. Right. So India, entire India is not tropical country, but peninsular India is what? Tropical country. Entire Andaman is what? Tropical, right? Tropical country, right? It lies south of what? Tropic of Cancer. Okay. So somewhere when I talk about this solstice position, right? Right. So assume that I am just bringing different, right? And this is your Tropic of Capricorn. Right. You have something called as what? Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. Very interestingly, can I say Tropic of Cancer is located 23.5 degrees north of equator? Yes. How many degrees this Tropic of Capricorn is located? 23.5 degrees south of equator. What is the tilt of Earth? What is the tilt of Earth? 23.5 degrees. Can you see the relevance here? Tilt of Earth is 23.5 degrees. Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn is what? 23.5 degrees. What is Arctic Circle? 66.5 degrees. 66.5 degrees is nothing but what? 90 minus 23. Alright. So it means all these lines of latitudes, or you call them as what? Circles of latitudes, are directly related to what? Tilt of Earth. Tilt of Earth. I am just giving you an assumption. By what degree Earth is tilted, you know, right? How many degree? 23. You assume, imagine that Earth would have been tilted by 30 degrees, not 23 and not 30 degrees, further, 30 degrees. If Earth would have been tilted by 30 degrees, my friend, what would have been your Tropic of Cancer today? Earth is now tilted by 23.5 degrees. So the Tropic of Cancer is 23.5 degrees north. If Earth would have been tilted by 30 degrees, 30, what would have been your Tropic of Cancer? What latitude would have been your Tropic of Cancer today? It is 30 degrees north. What would have been your Tropic of Cancer? 30 degrees south. What would have been your Arctic Circle? 60 degrees. Fantastic. How much? 60 degrees. Why? 90 minus 30. Right. So somewhere I have an idea that all these latitudes are directly related to what? Tilt of the Earth. Okay. Now, I was just talking about June 21st. This June 21st is very popularly called as what? Summer solstice. Summer solstice. Now, what is this summer solstice? Right? The maximum tilt of Earth towards sun. Where exactly the sun's vertical rays falls? Very important. Tropic of Cancer. And what is very important? Right? Tropic of Cancer is the northernmost limit where sun's vertical rays can reach. I'll tell you what is this vertical rays. So far is it clear? Yes? I'll tell you what is sun's vertical rays. Right. Then I will proceed further. Right. Assume that this is my surface, surface. Right? My land. I'm just going and standing in the land outside. Right? If sun is exactly placed above my head, this is sun. Alright? If that is the case, what exactly will be the angle at which the sun's rays will fall on my head? Vertical. 90 degrees. This is a symbol for 90 degrees, right? This is what you call them as what? Vertical sun's rays. You call them as what? Vertical sun's rays. Now, just now we have seen this concept, right? When sun, say for example, sun's vertical rays. Assume that somebody is standing there. Am I right? Somebody is standing here. Okay. In the cap. Right? Whatever it is. Right? Somebody is standing. Can I say where exactly the sun is located? Above us? Okay. You call them as what? call them as what? This vertical sun's rays is the one you call them as what? Head sun position. My dear friend, this head sun position is limited only within few geographical location of Earth. This head sun position you cannot experience beyond what? Tropic of Cancer. For example, if you are there in Delhi, Delhi in its entire life has never seen sun above outside. Am I right? That doesn't mean that Delhi will not have moon. That's the reason I said moon. I said above means head sun position, but later I will correct it somewhere. I would have said okay. My dear friends, every time moon is not head sun position. They ask me head sun position. Head sun position is limited only between what? Only between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. All that region that is located north of Cancer and south of Capricorn can never experience what? Never experience what? Sun's vertical rays. This is the fundamental. Alright? can see. Okay. This is not so clear, but still okay. Something is better than nothing, we say, right? Okay. Right. Now, I just want to tell you that it makes this Tropic of Cancer is a very important latitude. You know the fact, Tropic of Cancer is the northernmost limit what the sun's vertical rays can reach. Right? And this Tropic of Cancer passes through India. Right? It almost passes through 8 Indian states. Right? So this is where this Tropic of Cancer passes through. Okay. Right? What are the 8 Indian states it passes through, if you ask me? Right? Gujarat. Right? It passes through Gujarat. Right? Apart from Gujarat, parts of Rajasthan, the southern parts of Rajasthan, right? This Tropic of Cancer passes through. Right? Then the third state, if you ask me what is the third state, it is Madhya Pradesh. The third state, you call them as what? Madhya Pradesh. The fourth state, only the northern parts of Chhattisgarh. Right? The northern parts of Chhattisgarh. Right? 4 states we have. Right? If you ask me state number 5, it is Jharkhand. Right? It is Jharkhand. State number 6 is West Bengal. Right, it is West Bengal. Right, and if you ask me what are the 2 states, other states, right, you are there. Right, northeastern state. It is Tripura. Right, and Mizoram. Right, these are the 8 states through which Tropic of Cancer passes through in India. Very important 8 states. Somewhere if you want to write it, you can write it also. And also, as I said, I'll give you a material. That material will be having these information also. Right. Now I have just given you a fact. I have told you a fact. What is the northernmost limit that sun's vertical rays can reach? Tropic of Cancer. So all that land which lies south of Tropic of Cancer in India, you call them as what? Tropical region. Okay. Northern parts of India, you call them as what? Subtropical region. Am I right? It lies beyond Tropic of Cancer. So any cities that is located north of this Tropic of Cancer in their life, they can never experience what? Sun's vertical rays. Now I just give you a city, right? You have to tell me whether sun's vertical rays is possible there or not. You have to tell me, right? If this image is actually not clear, never mind, right? If you have mobile, right, you can almost say, for example, look for map of India, political map of India, my friend. I'll just give you a place, you tell me whether sun's vertical rays is possible there or not. Delhi, is it possible? No. Not possible. Right. What about Chandigarh? Yes or no? Chandigarh. The joint capital of what? Punjab and Haryana. It itself is a union there. Chandigarh, possible? Not possible. Right. Say for example, what about Lucknow? What about Lucknow? Where is Lucknow? Right, Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh itself is located what? North of Tropic of Cancer. Possible? Not possible. What about Patna? Bihar. Bihar itself is located what? North of Tropic of Cancer. Is it possible? Not possible. Jammu and Kashmir. Is it possible? Not possible. Right. Okay. What about Assam? Possible? Right. When I talk about places like Dispur, is it possible? Not possible. Itanagar. Where is Itanagar? Right. Very good. India. Very good. Right. Right. So Itanagar, my friend, Arunachal Pradesh. Is it possible or not? Itanagar. Not possible. Meghalaya, Shillong. Is it possible? Not possible. Right. Nagaland, Kohima. Is it possible? Not possible. Manipur, Imphal. Is it possible? Not possible. Alright. So somewhere I have an idea where the sun's vertical rays can fall and where sun's vertical rays will not fall. Port Blair, is it possible? Yes. Alright. Right. Marconda, is it possible? Possible or not? Yes. Right. Barron, is it possible? Yes. Right. When I talk about Campbell Bay, is it possible? Cancer, because it locates what? South of Tropic of Cancer. Right? Fine, my friend. So somewhere I have an idea about the importance of this Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. So somewhere I said where exactly the sun's vertical rays will fall on the specific day. Okay. Now I am just taking this discussion forward. Right. I'm just taking this discussion forward. Right. Only the summer solstice I am just expanding further. Okay. So you know summer solstice, where exactly the sun's vertical rays falls? June 21st. Sun's vertical rays falls what? Exactly over what? Tropic of Cancer. And my dear friend, right, somewhere, can you see a kind of a line, right? Can you see a kind of a line which almost divides the brighter side and the darker side of this earth, my friend? Right? Can you see this? And what exactly you are seeing here is the axis of rotation. Right? This is what you call them as what? Axis of rotation. Right? And what I am showing you is a line which divides day part of the earth and night part of the earth. The brighter side you call them as what? Day, my friend. The darker side you call them as what? Night. Correct? Now, if you are right at equator, you are exactly at equator, my friend. Right? You are exactly at equator. And equator on this day it says you will experience what? 12 hours of what? Daylight. It means between sunrise and sunset I will have the time gap of what? 12 hours. If daytime is 12 hours, what will be the duration of night time? What will be the duration of night time? Night time will also be what? 12 hours. Correct? It means length of day and night is what? Equal. But as you move north, what is that happening? What exactly you are experiencing? The length of the day is increasing. If you are there at Tropic of Cancer, my friend, see? Tropic of Cancer, on that day, what you are having is what? 13.5 hours. 13 and a half hours of daylight. Right? If daylight exists for 13 and a half hours, what will be the duration of night? 24 minus 13.5. How much? Don't tell me 11.5. Right? Simple, sir. It is 10.5. So even for calculating their age nowadays, people are using calculators. Okay. I was born in 2001. This year is 2021. Okay. Right. So don't be so mechanical. Okay. This is simple calculation. Right. So 24. So 24 minus 13 is what? 11. Right. Another half you subtract. Right. 10 and a half. Right. So what I have is 13.5 hours. Correct. 13.5 hours, or you can write as what? 13 hours and 30 minutes. 13 and a half hours of daylight. It means what I have is only 10.5 hours of what? Am I right? Now, you are there in Arctic Circle. In Arctic Circle, beyond Arctic Circle. What is the length of day? Daylight? 24 hours. Entire Arctic region is exposed to what? Sun. If the length of daylight is 24 hours, what will be the length of night? 24 minus 24. 0 hours, my friend. It means what? On this day, right, you will not have what? Night. There is no night. Right? It means even during night, sun will be there in the sky. This concept is very popularly called as what? Concept is very popularly called as what? Midnight sun. So sun will be there in the sky, you have to look at your watch and you should go to bed. Am I right? Sun is not responsible if you are not sleeping. Correct? That's what you call them as what? Midnight sun. Accordingly, there is one country which is called as what? Land of midnight sun. Which country is called as land of midnight sun? Which country? Very good. Norway. Norway is called as land of midnight sun. As I said, Norway is called as what? Land of midnight sun. Why? Norway is one of the countries which is located in what? Arctic region. Not only Norway, there are 8 countries, my friend. Will you believe USA? When I say USA is also located in Arctic region, will you believe? Yes or no? I'll show you. Right, I hope approximately you can find something which resembles more like a one map, right? Now here, I was just talking about Arctic Circle. To be very precise, I talked about a concept called as midnight sun. Name itself says what? Midnight sun. It means what? Sun will be there in the sky even during midnight. What is midnight? 12 AM you call them as what? Midnight. So if sun is there in the sky during midnight, the concept you call them as what? Midnight sun. Accordingly, Norway is called as land of midnight sun. But now comes the question, is it only Norway that experiences this phenomenon? Answer is no. There are plenty of other countries which along with Norway experience this phenomenon. Then why only Norway is almost called so, if you ask me? You call them as what? Early bird advantage. Norway has used this name first. Similarly, I have Japan, you call them as what? Land of rising sun. Right? Sincerely, if you ask me, is it sun rises actually in Japan first? Answer is no. But Japan has used it first. This is what you call them as what? Early bird advantage. Whatever it is. Right? Can you see a line? This line you call them as what? Arctic circle. Right? Right? You may ask why it is not a circle. Okay? I am just seeing from what? Equatorial perspective. If you are seeing the same line from the polar region, it will look like what? Circle. Correct? This is the Arctic circle. Again, 8 countries are there. India also, we have seen Tropic of Cancer, right? 8 states were there. What are the states? Very important. What are they? Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tripura. Very good. Similarly here, right? Number 1, if you ask me, I would say USA. You may wonder, why USA? USA is here. My dear friend, this is also USA. Right? This is one of the state of USA. You call them as what? Alaska. Because of Alaska, you have what? US. Right? It is located in what? Polar regions. Right? It also experiences what? Not the entire Alaska. That part of Alaska which is located in what? Arctic region. Right? Canada. Right? The famous Punjabi destination, right? We talk about Canada. Correct? Right. Canada also experienced this phenomenon. Right? Will you accept if I say Denmark, my friend? Will you accept if I say Denmark? Right, Denmark is here. Right, Denmark is a European country. Then why are you including Denmark? Very simple. When I talk about this land, right, this land you call them as what? Greenland, my friend. Greenland politically belongs to what? Greenland politically belongs to what? Denmark. Because of Greenland, Denmark is in. Because of Alaska, USA is in. Right? Then I have this Iceland, my friend. Iceland. Correct? Right, 4 countries I have just given. Right? Okay. Right. Further, if I am just adding it, can you find this country? This country you call it as what? Norway. Scandinavian countries, all these countries. This is also Norway. Okay. After Norway, what you have is what? Sweden. After Sweden, what you have is what? Finland. And if you ask me, right, which country has the maximum share in Arctic region? The largest country of the world? Russia. So these are the 8 countries which is present in Arctic region, which experience this phenomena called as what? Midnight sun as a concept. Somewhere you can write it, countries of Arctic region. Only the part of the country is located in what? Arctic region. I repeat, what are the countries, my friend? USA. Why USA? Alaska. Canada? Denmark. Why Denmark? Very good. It is because of what? Part of Iceland. Some of your atlas, Iceland is not so clear. Alright, but yes, Iceland also. I have Tropic of Cancer passing. Right. Then comes the Scandinavian countries like Norway, Sweden, Finland. Right. Then the country number 8, the largest share is Russia. Okay. Right. So we have seen what exactly is this midnight sun as concept. Now we also know that what are the countries which is present in what? Arctic region. Very important. Okay. These are the same 8 countries which is also a member of what? Arctic Council. Correct? You have something called as what? Arctic Council, right? Right, my friend. So, the midnight sun as a concept we have seen. Right? Now, again talking about this June 21st, my friend. June 21st, right? Where, what is the length of the day we have seen? Am I right? Now, to consolidate, right? In Northern Hemisphere, can I say, all the places what I have seen in Northern Hemisphere, can I say, the duration of day was longer than the duration of night. If daylight is more than the night, you call them as what? Summer. What is summer? Longer days you call them as what? Summer. Now look at Southern Hemisphere. Look at Southern Hemisphere. Right? Right at equator it is 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. Equator you can never call it as Northern or Southern Hemisphere. Equator is a line of transition. Am I right? But if you are there at Tropic of Capricorn, what is the length of the day? 10.5 hours. If length of day is 10.5 hours, what is the length of night? How much? Very good. 13.5 hours. What is the length of day at Antarctic region? 0 hours. What is night? 24. That's what I say. Geography is always a subject of compensation. Arctic region it was 24 hours of daylight. Antarctic region it is 24 hours of night. Am I right? Here I have a concept of midnight sun. Right? Here the sun do not rise above the horizon. It is completely a compensation. As you move north, the length of the day increases. As you move south, the length of the night increases. Am I right? This is what you call them as what? Right, the compensation. If you are there in Southern Hemisphere, which is longer, day or night? Night is longer. See, 13.5, 10.5. Night is longer than day, my friend. Longer night you call them as what? Winter. Longer days you call them as what? Summer. That's the reason I said summer or winter is hemisphere specific. One hemisphere will have only what? One season. Okay. So somewhere, what happens on June 21st, I have an idea. As you move north and south, what will happen? That also will happen. Right. So is it okay? Means I think right, sufficient facts we have taken with June 21st. Right. Now if you ask me, this 24 hours of daylight in entire Arctic region, will it happen throughout the year? No. Only this June 21st, entire Arctic region will experience this sun. Right. When entire Arctic region experience sunlight, entire Antarctic region will experience what? 9 to 5. No? Right. Fine. Right. So what happens on this day? Approximately we have an idea of it. Now if you can remember June 21st, December 22nd, automatically you can remember. How I tell you? Just reverse the concept. June 21st. As you move north, what happens to the length of the day? Length of the day increases. As you move north, length of the day increases. When? June 21st. If it is December 22nd, what will happen? Very good. As you move north, right, the length of the day decreases. Examination only one you have to remember. Which is that you have to remember if you ask me? Just remember what? Right. December 22nd is automatically remembered. Where exactly the sun's vertical rays falls? December 22nd. Look at the diagram. Diagram speaks more than 1,000 words, right? Like where exactly the sun's vertical rays falls? Tropic of Capricorn. Very good, fantastic. Right. As you move north, I said the length of the day decreases. It means winter in northern hemisphere. As you move south, the length of the day increases. It means it is summer in southern hemisphere. My dear friends, there June 21st, entire Arctic region was experiencing what? 24 hours of day. December 22nd, entire Arctic region experienced how many hours of daylight? 24 hours. Normally there is a saying, right? If you have surplus, don't be so happy. Am I right? Life is all about compensation. Right? Sometimes something will be given, later it will be taken. Am I right? If you have too much of sunlight, let us not be so joyful, because summer is going to be a reverse effect. Antarctic region on June 21st had 0 hours of daylight. Same Antarctic region during December 22nd has what? 24 hours of daylight. Right, that's what I call them as what? Compensation. Only one you have to remember. Okay, only one you have to remember. If you can remember June 23rd, December 22nd is automatically remembered. Okay? Right. So, summer solstice and winter solstice, we have an idea. Okay? Right. I'm just moving here. Now, between the summer solstice and winter solstice, I have two transitional phases. One transition happens on March 21st to May. Another transition happens on September 23rd. This position we call them as what? Equinox. We call them as what? Equinox. I'll tell you what is the equinox. Right. Nox means night, normal. Right. Equinox means equal length of day and night. This is the day when entire earth will experience 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. Okay. If you ask me where exactly the sun's vertical rays falls, exactly over equator it falls. Exactly over equator it falls. Somewhere if you want to write, you can write. Equinox, you can write the heading as equinox. I have not given you regarding solstice. Okay, no problem. Slightly you strike it down. You write it as solstice first. Few facts I will give you. Then we will take the equinox. First write it as solstice. Solstice. Spelling, solstice spelling. Write as solstice. It is the day when the axis of rotation or axis of earth, it is the day when axis of earth tilts maximum towards sun. It is the day when axis of Earth tilts maximum towards the sun. Solstice occurs twice a year. That is on June 21st, within bracket, what you can write? Very good, fantastic, summer solstice. And December 22nd. December 22nd you call them as what? Very good. So what is solstice, you know, right? Now you write a separate heading called as summer solstice. Write it as summer solstice. Separate it. Now you can write. On this day, sun's vertical rays exactly falls over Tropic of, you yourself can write, Tropic of, where exactly it falls? Cancer, Tropic of Cancer. As we move north of equator, the length of the day slowly and steadily increases. That is from 12 hours at equator. That is from 12 hours at equator to 13.5 hours. To 13.5 hours at Tropic of Cancer. To 24 hours beyond Arctic Circle. On this day, entire Arctic region experience 24 hours of daylight. Entire Arctic region experience 24 hours of daylight. See, when I say 24 hours of daylight, can I say on this day the sun will not set? Yes or no? Sun will set or not? Sun will not set. It means sun will not go below the horizon. I hope you understand what is horizon, right? You know what is horizon? Have you seen sunrise or sunset? Right? One good thing about Andaman, both you can see. Am I right? Right. You would have seen sunrise and you would have seen sunset, right? The line from where exactly the sun comes out. Am I right? Right? Say for example, standing at the coastline, somewhere at a distant, say somewhere, some distance you will be seeing, right, as though this ocean and sky is meeting, right? That line you call them as what? Horizon. Right. When the sun comes out of this horizon, you call them as what? Sunrise. When sun goes below the horizon, you call them as what? Sunset. Right? As simple as this. Right? So what exactly is a horizon? That also I know. So can I say on this day the sun will not go below what? Horizon. Am I right? Sun will not go below horizon. Sun will be there in the sky. Right? The entire Arctic region experiences 24 hours of daylight. Okay. So within bracket you can write, okay, not within bracket, right? Outside the bracket itself. This phenomena of sun present even during the night. This phenomena of sun present even during the night is called as midnight sun. Within quotes you write it as midnight sun. Accordingly, Norway is called as land of midnight sun. Norway is called as land of midnight sun. Only June 21st I have given. December 22nd you yourself can write. Right? Only thing is that take the reverse of. Right? Now the second topic you can write as what? Equinox. You can write as equinox. Directly you write it. I will also explain it. Equinox literally means equal length of day and night. Equinox literally means equal length of day and night. It occurs twice a year. That is on March 21st. My dear friends, equinox occurs twice a year, March 21st and September 21st. If at all, if you want to give a name for what is the season that you experience during March, my friend? The season which comes just before summer. One of the most beautiful seasons of the world. What do you call this? Spring. Accordingly, this equinox you call that as what? Spring equinox. No? You call them as what? Spring equinox. If March 21st is called a spring equinox, what is the name you can give it for September equinox? Very good. Autumn equinox. You call that as what? Autumn equinox. So I said it occurs twice a year. That is on March 21st. Within bracket you can write it as what? Spring equinox. And September 23rd. Within bracket you call them as what? Autumn equinox. Okay. Further you can write. On this day, where exactly the sun's vertical rays falls? Equator, very important. On this day, the sun's vertical rays will fall only during the noon time, not when it is rising or setting. Right? Only during the noon time it will fall. Okay. On this day, the sun's vertical rays falls right over equator. Falls right over equator. An entire earth experience 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. Entire earth experience what? 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. My dear friends, summer means what? Longer day. Winter means what? Shorter day. But when I talk about equinox, right? Day is equal and night is equal. Right? If day and night is equal, what will be the length of the day? If I say day and night is equal, means what? 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. Equinox is the only day, my friend, in this earth. Everywhere, sun will rise at 6 a.m., set at 6 a.m. Sorry, excuse me. Set at what? 6 p.m. I'm talking about local time. What we are following is a standard time. The concept is different. Local time is different and standard time is different. Okay. So everywhere the sun will rise at 6 a.m. and sun will set at what? 6 p.m. It's a day of transition. Equinox is the day when summer will become winter or winter will become what? Summer. It's a transition day. Every place on earth, including poles, will experience 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. Okay. So what is about equinox I have taken? Summer solstice, winter solstice, equinox, everything you know, right? Right, my friend. So season cycles, right? What are the different seasons? Any doubts, my friend, so far? No? No. What I'll do, I will try to solve one question, okay, which is asked in the examination, right? And my dear friends, according to you, which is the toughest examination in this country? Civil service, right? Okay. We'll try to answer one question which is asked in civil service, my friend. So this is the official website of UPSC, Union Public Service Commission. Okay. So maybe from the website itself I am just selecting this previous year's questions. Right, my friends, right? See, this is the question which is asked in UPSC Civil Service Examination 2019, I think, last year it was, right? The only thing is that, right, we should see or we should, okay, right, at least try to answer this question. If you are not able to answer, no problem, we just give it a try. What is the question? Question says, okay, on June 21st, what happens? Right? On June 21st, the sun. Right? Now it says, does not set below the horizon at the Arctic Circle. Option 1. Option 2, does not set below the horizon at Antarctic Circle. Shines vertically overhead, vertical sunsets. Overhead at noon on the equator. Shines vertically overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn. Right. Now, read it. Right. Read it and just tell me which is the best option. Read it once again. On June 21st, what is June 21st? Summer solstice. What happens on summer solstice? You got the answer. Some of you got the answer. I'm just waiting for the others. Got it? Okay. Where the sun's on June 21st, where exactly the sun's vertical rays, right, shines vertically overhead. Overhead? Tropic of Cancer. Am I right? If that is the case, D is ruled out. Am I right? D says shines vertically overhead at what? Tropic of Capricorn. Right. Right. Second, it says shines vertically overhead at equator. That is also ruled out. Am I right? Now see this. Sun do not set below the horizon at Arctic Circle. Sun do not set below the horizon at Antarctica. June 21st. And the other answer about at night the sun. So what is the answer? A. Does not set below the horizon. Directly got the answer. Alright. So that's the reason, and my dear friend, this is the question what is asked in the toughest examination. That's the reason I say this examination is not tough. Only thing is that you should have the orientation. Alright. Commonality is there, just bet on the commonality. Right? If you think tough, this exam will be tough. Okay. And one more thing before concluding, right, can you at least say you got the answer, right? You got the answer. Answer is June 20th. Sorry. Answer is C. I got it. Okay. Now you forget about the question, my friend. You tell me on which day this phenomena occurs. Statement says sun does not set below the horizon at Antarctic Circle. Which day it experience? Very good. December 22nd. Fantastic. December 22nd. Read the statement. Shines vertically overhead at noon on the which day? Very good. March 21st. Is it only March 21st? September 23rd. And September 23rd. Equation questions you can solve. Right? That's the reason always I say, right, have a, means almost practice or habit of practicing what? Previous year's questions. So, whatever is that area what I have just covered, these are some of the areas which is actually important for competitive examination in general, irrespective of the agency what conducts the examination. Right? Right, the basic facts, shape of the rotation, revolution, season cycles and so on. Right, right. So somewhere I'll just conclude the class today here. Right. Some other day we'll meet, my friend. So in between, all the slides what I was using, right? I have series of other slides also. So I'll just give you the slides and the supplementary notes. You have written it, right? And I have just explained many things what you have not written it. That also we have as a notes. Right, I'll just give you as e-copies, you can circulate among yourself. So, Shakti will take charge of that. Okay. Right, my friends, any doubts? Right, thank you.
Let me